Throughout history, the development of powerful weapons has shaped the course of wars, influenced the rise and fall of empires, and defined entire centuries. Each weapon, whether due to its technological innovation, strategic impact, or sheer destructive power, left a significant mark on the history of its time. Let's talk about the most powerful weapons of each century, explaining their design, use, and historical significance. 1. 1st century BCE, the Roman Gladius. The Roman Gladius was the primary weapon of Roman foot soldiers and played a crucial role in the expansion of the Roman Empire. The gladius was a short sword, typically about 18-24 inches long, designed for stabbing and thrusting in close combat. Its effectiveness was enhanced by the disciplined Roman military tactics, where soldiers used the gladius in conjunction with their large shields, scutum, to fight in tight formations. The gladius was not only a symbol of Roman military prowess, but also a tool that enabled the Romans to conquer vast territories, securing their dominance in the Mediterranean world. 2. 1st century CE, the Composite Bow. The composite bow was a significant advancement in archery technology, combining materials such as wood, horn, and sinew to create a powerful and flexible weapon. It was shorter and more powerful than previous bows, allowing it to be used effectively from horseback. The composite bow was a key weapon for nomadic horse archers, such as the Huns and Parthians, who used it to devastating effect against more heavily armored opponents. Its power and range made it a dominant weapon on the battlefields of Eurasia, contributing to the success of empires that relied on mobile cavalry tactics. 3. 7th century, the Saracen scimitar. The Saracen scimitar was a curved, single-edged sword that became iconic during the early Islamic conquests. Its design was optimized for slashing and cutting, making it highly effective in mounted combat. The scimitar was used by Arab, Persian, and later Ottoman warriors as they expanded their territories across the Middle East, North Africa, and into Europe. The weapon became a symbol of Islamic military power and cultural identity, and its effectiveness in battle was a key factor in the rapid spread of the Islamic Empire during this period. 4. 11th century, the Norman longsword. The Norman longsword was a versatile, double-edged sword used by the Normans, who were among the most feared warriors of the 11th century. The longsword was well balanced for both cutting and thrusting, making it effective in various combat situations. The Normans, under leaders like William the Conqueror, used the longsword to great effect during the Norman conquest of England in 1066, most notably at the Battle of Hastings. The weapon's design and the Normans' superior military tactics made the longsword a symbol of their dominance in medieval Europe. 5. 12th century, the English longbow. The English longbow was a powerful and revolutionary weapon that dominated European battlefields in the 12th and 13th centuries. The longbow, typically made from yew wood, had a draw weight of up to 150 pounds and could shoot arrows with considerable force and accuracy over long distances. The longbow was particularly effective against armored knights and played a crucial role in key battles during the 100 Years' War, such as the Battle of Agincourt in 1415. The ability of English archers to rain down arrows on their enemies from a distance changed the dynamics of medieval warfare, diminishing the effectiveness of heavy cavalry and altering military tactics. 6. 14th century, the cannon. The development of gunpowder weapons in the 14th century led to the emergence of the cannon, a powerful siege weapon that revolutionized warfare. Cannons were initially used to breach the walls of fortifications, rendering traditional medieval castles and city walls increasingly vulnerable. The introduction of cannons changed the nature of siege warfare, allowing armies to destroy defenses that had previously been nearly impregnable. By the end of the century, cannons were being used not only in sieges but also on the battlefield, where they could deliver devastating blows to enemy formations. The cannon's impact on military strategy and fortification design was profound, marking the beginning of the end for the feudal system of warfare. 7. 16th century, the arquebus. The arquebus was an early type of portable firearm that became widely used in the 16th century. It was a smoothbore, muzzle-loaded weapon, and while it was less accurate than a bow, its Its ability to penetrate armor made it a game-changer on the battlefield. The arquebus was relatively easy to train soldiers to use, leading to the decline of heavily armored knights and the rise of infantry armies. The weapon was particularly influential in the European wars of the 16th century, including the Italian wars, where it was used by both the Spanish and the French. The widespread adoption of the arquebus marked the beginning of the age of gunpowder and the shift from medieval to modern warfare. 8. 17th century, the Flintlock Musket. The Flintlock Musket was a significant improvement over earlier firearms like the arquebus. It used a flintlock mechanism to ignite the gunpowder, which was more reliable and faster than previous matchlock or wheel-lock mechanisms. The musket became the standard infantry weapon in European armies by the mid-17th century and remained so for over a century. The flintlock musket was used in major conflicts such as the English Civil War, the 30 Years' War, and the early stages of the American Revolution. Its widespread use helped standardize military training and tactics, contributing to the rise of professional standing armies. 9. 18th century, the bayonet. The bayonet, when attached to the muzzle of a musket, transformed the firearm into a spear-like weapon, allowing soldiers to defend themselves in close combat after firing their shots. The bayonet became a crucial weapon in the linear tactics of 18th century warfare, where soldiers fought in close ranks. The development of the socket bayonet, which allowed the musket to be fired with the bayonet attached, made infantry units more versatile and lethal. The bayonet charge became a common tactic, as soldiers could deliver a powerful shock to enemy lines after firing their volleys. The use of the bayonet was pivotal in battles such as those during the Napoleonic Wars. 10. 19th century, the rifled musket. The rifled musket, particularly the Model 1853 Enfield and the Springfield Model 1861, represented a major leap in firearm technology during the 19th century. The rifling inside the barrel of the musket imparted a spin to the bullet, greatly improving accuracy and range compared to smoothbore muskets. The introduction of the Minié ball, a conical bullet that expanded upon firing, made these weapons even more deadly. The rifled musket was a key weapon during the American Civil War, where its increased accuracy led to devastating casualties and a shift in military tactics. The effectiveness of rifled muskets forced armies to adopt trench warfare and other forms of cover, as traditional line infantry tactics became too costly. 11. 20th century, the atomic bomb. The atomic bomb is the most powerful and destructive weapon developed in the 20th century. It harnesses the energy released by nuclear fission to produce an explosion of unprecedented magnitude. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, leading to Japan's surrender and the end of World War II. The atomic bomb not only brought a swift to the war, but also ushered in the nuclear age, fundamentally altering global politics and military strategy. The threat of nuclear war during the Cold War shaped international relations for decades, with the concept of mutually assured destruction, MADI, preventing direct conflict between nuclear-armed superpowers. 12. 21st century, the hypersonic missile. The hypersonic missile represents the cutting edge of 21st century military technology. These missiles can travel at speeds greater than Mach 5, 5 times the speed of sound, making them incredibly difficult to detect and intercept with current defense systems. Hypersonic missiles can carry both conventional and nuclear warheads, and their speed and maneuverability allow them to evade traditional missile defense systems. Several countries, including the United States, Russia, and China, are developing hypersonic missile technology, which is seen as a game-changer in modern warfare. The development of hypersonic missiles has sparked a new arms race as nations seek to develop both offensive and defensive capabilities in response to this emerging threat. The most powerful weapons of each century have shaped the course of history, influencing the outcomes of wars, the rise and fall of empires, and the development of military tactics and technology. From the Roman Gladius to the hypersonic missile, these weapons represent the pinnacle of military innovation in their respective eras. Understanding the impact of these weapons provides insight into the evolution of warfare and the ongoing quest for military superiority. As technology continues to advance, the nature of warfare and the weapons that define it will undoubtedly continue to evolve, with each new century bringing its own innovations and challenges.